Hey y'all. Hey JW, what's up? JW says, if I can say just one thing, I've been nothing but nice to everyone. I've never talked about anyone in the ME community in any kind of bad way. I hope we, you, me, everyone in this place reside. Yeah. JW also says, can overcome our petty differences and start helping each other out. I pray for everyone, every single human blade of grass. I agree, JW. Hey, Lindsay. I had a great day. I walked around Home Depot all day with my husband, and we were supposed to get like paint for our chimney that he just built, and then I think caulk or something. And I talked him into getting like tons of like lights for our house, so that was nice. There's been a lot of drama today. I see, and I wasn't even aware of it. I was off today, and I was hanging out with my husband all day, and he Home Depot walks. Oh yeah. We went and got one of those project cards. Cool. Hey Creek Mary. What's up? No, but we got one of those project cards and you get like we got approved for like a $22,000 open to buy, and we're using it to fix up our house so we can, sell it. So Lindsay says, I've been here in drama too, been busy. Been a busy mama playing outside most of the day, and I just caught a few minutes of MA stream. See, I was trying to kind of watch his stream, but I mean, I couldn't. I don't know. I didn't catch anything. I saw the Jason Christopher thing, which is interesting because not that long ago, probably about 3 weeks ago, my husband was all like, he was like, "Did you know he used to be a Hollywood actor?" And he showed me all the stuff, and I was like, I was like, Joseph, just because somebody used to be an actor in Hollywood doesn't mean they're not affected. I mean, I stuck up for him. So, I mean, the thing is, I like the guy. I like some of the stuff he has to say, but he put out a video today, and he was he was kind of bad mouthing Mandela affected, and he said he even admitted he's never watched his channel. So I don't think that's the best thing. So I'll just leave it at that. But at any rate, yeah, it is. Lindsay's like, it's so high school. It really is. And I mean, I'm in my 40s. I ain't got time for that. So anyway, JW said, I'm going through a divorce and it's been really hard. I've been pretending that everything's okay, but it's really not. Listen, JW, and I see you say you feel like such a failure. Don't feel that way. You know, sometimes these things just don't work out. My daughters are 17 and 16. Well, one's about to be 16. And they've told me things like, we're like sometimes the only kids in our class whose parents are still married. And I mean, we live in the Bible Belt, right outside of Jackson, Mississippi. We live in like a suburb of Jackson. So if that's the case here, I would say it's pretty prevalent everywhere. And I mean, I can remember, going through Katrina and like her house being destroyed and just thinking, man, this is just like the end of the world. So I know where you're at, like when your life just gets like totally turned upside down. But I mean, sometimes in the moment, you can't see that there's a plan. That sometimes you have to go through these strifes in life in order for things to work out in your favor. So, I mean, just keep strong and just remember, like with time, you'll start to feel better. I mean, and with distance, I know it can be rough, but we're all here for you, man. You've been with her for 12 years. Yeah. I mean, whew, it's rough. Let's see. Creek Mary says, I've been out gardening most of the day too. Yeah, it's nice to get outside. And that's what I suggest. Like, whenever like your things in your life just get too hard, and especially, with us that, we're like awake people, it's a really hard burden to bear because, a lot of us think that this is like divinely inspired. I'm one of those people who thinks that. And, to watch people that you really care about just walk around like zombies, taking pictures of themselves all day with cell phones, it's like really rough thinking, you know, this could be like a test of human, connectivity and whether we're like, going to choose one side or the other. Like if you have those backgrounds, and I'm not saying that's what it is. I mean, I'm just saying, especially for people who think that way, I mean, this being affected like this can really seeing the changes, it can really be burdensome. Get out in nature. Go take a walk around. I personally ground every day. Like I go out my front yard and put my bare feet in the ground and try to, connect with the nature around me, kind of calm myself and keep myself in line with the vibration of this place. Evil surrounds us says, hello, new subscriber. Is that me? Did I subscribe to you? I must have thought you were awesome if I did. Let's see. And Lindsay says he has a lot of interesting knowledge. I don't agree with saying anything about anyone unless you know them. Yeah, and that's my thing. If you don't know about it, I mean, at least try to explore it a little bit or talk to some of us. I mean, I've been watching Mandela Affected for a long time. I mean, years. I mean, I can remember back when Scott would stand there awkwardly in front of his camera with his like homemade T-shirt on, and even before that, I mean, a lot of us here have like really watched like Scott and Mandela Affected like develop. So, I mean, give people a chance is all I'm saying. I mean, that's what I mean. He should at least have that courtesy to give us all a chance, before he thinks we're a bunch of like cult members or something. It's just kind of strange. But anyway, let's see. Andrew Eaton says he got his divorce papers while he was in a mental institution. That's got to be rough. Ooh. Hey, Dark Wolf. Lindsay says, I've had my feet to grass today and made both my girls take their shoes off and run around in the backyard. Try it, JW. He says, I know I'm a grown man, but I just broke down today. And listen, that's okay. Sometimes it's all right to break down and have just have a good cry. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It releases a lot of tension and stress, and especially if you're new to waking up to the Mandela effect, or, the changes, whatever you want to call it. I prefer the changes a lot of the time. It's going to be all right. You're going to get used to it. It's like anything. And, just remember it's better to be able to look around and understand what's happening, even if we don't fully understand why it's happening. But at least you can see what's happening and see some level of truth. Dark Wolf is in a goofy, laughative mood today. That's good. And Lynn's is right. She said, JW, that's good. You're actually feeling your feelings. It's worse not to feel and then deal with the after effects. Yeah, I mean, that's why people have cancer and stuff, Let's see. Craig Mary says, Colt, we haven't even picked the Kool-Aid yet. Yeah, my vote is strawberry. That's my favorite. Yeah, and I think a lot of people have been like, just feeling kind of high emotion lately. It's been going on for the past few days. I mean, I've gotten caught up in it too. So, I mean, it is what it is. And Poppy's right. She says, JW, these chats are here to help each other. And that's the thing. I mean, I was telling my husband, He said, Martha. I was like, yeah, come in here. And he's like, why is the why is the camera plugged in? He's like, who are you talking to? So I've been kind of busted. But I just told him, I was like, I was like, sometimes I walk around in this world, and even though I'm a sociable person and I'm in sales for a living and I'm good at it, you know, I mean, so I interact with a lot of people. I really kind of feel alone in a lot of respects, just because, I feel like I can see something other people, like the general populace, can't. And I feel really afraid for people, I feel like a lot of compassion for people, and you know, I'm just worried because none of us really know exactly what this is. I mean, we all talk about it and share our ideas, and that's why I think it's important to have places to come where you can just say like, "Hey, maybe it's this. Hey, maybe it's that." I mean, like brainstorming. We're just brainstorming, you know. And Scott Balo says, "You don't have to be positive. Go back and watch how I was a couple months ago." Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you're going to go through cycles with this. Like, a lot of people, first when they first like realize that the past has changed, then they start to kind of look into it. And a lot of them become flat earthers. I don't know if you've seen people, I've seen like YouTubers like transition like that. And of course, I mean, my husband and I were kind of like flat earthers. And then, years ago, and then we, realized that reality wasn't what we thought it was. When we, because you're hooking up with these people and talking about stuff, and then you realize you share common memories that aren't possible in this place, you know. So, I mean, stuff for sure, but you just can't find evidence for it. And sometimes you have a breakdown. I mean, I had a mental breakdown. I was like pretty successful at catering sales. I was doing catering production and sales. I mean, I was making a lot of good money. And I mean, it got to me so bad. I mean, I just couldn't concentrate and I lost my job over it, you know? So it shit happens. Let's see. Hey, Robert Wood. Hi, bye. Good Lord. I probably missed him already. Oh, Lindsay. Moneybags did a video about your comment. Awesome. I'd like to see that. Brainstorming and sharing information. That's right. Poppy said, I didn't know how much I needed to tell you guys until I started being more open in chats and streams. It's true, Yeah, I mean, I like looking at evidence. I mean, I'm a curious kind of person. I always like to learn something, and I think a lot of us are like that. That's one thing I think we all share. And Scott Balo says, I can't even express how much this thing is helping. And it does help, when you can come together with people that have like, you know, uh, this, like the same type of thought processes. I mean, I think it's healthy. Lindsay says, Andrew, yeah, I saw that. And with things so heavy at the moment, I kind of want to crawl under a rock. Don't do that now. That's okay. I mean, pat yourself on the back. We love you, JW. I mean, and you can get in touch with me anytime. I mean, I have like Messenger and I have Facebook. I'm on the Facebook, all that junk. I have to be because of work. They make us share all their posts. Poppy says, most people won't get how isolated I was. I'm so unbelievably grateful for everyone. And, we're grateful for you. I mean, you've been like a constant. I mean, you sit down every day and do your stream. I mean, you've got a lot of content out there, and you know, I can't ever see you live because I'm usually at work, but like I'll go back and watch stuff, and I really enjoy your streams. See, see. Lynn says, my husband was the one that told me the earth may not be round a couple of years ago. Blew me away, but I also wasn't surprised, considered how much it's pushed in our faces. Yeah. I mean, when we started doing experiments, I mean, I'm talking years ago, guys, like in like 2010 and that. I mean, when we started doing experiments and just realizing there was something wrong with this place, I mean, there's just there's something about it, like going out there and actually trying to figure it out on your own and trying to do experiments, with like other people. Man, there's something about it. I mean, I got to the point where I just didn't believe anything unless I could see it for myself. Oh, hey Patrick, what's up? Sorry, I'm kind of late on the chat. Let's see. Yeah, I think we all do feel a little beat up this week. Wascally Rabbit says, Martha Jane, thank you for being here. You're a grounding force in a chaotic world. Oh, I love you. Let's see. Glenn Mink says he's not going to cover his topic tonight about the reality of people. Today's been pretty intense in the community, and I feel it needs to go to sleep and wake afresh. I don't know. It might help. You never know. I mean, like if you plan to do that topic and this stuff's going on, that may not be an accident, Glenn Mink. You never know. Let's see. Ooh, Long Reach one's in here. Oh my god, I feel like it's a celebrity. I've been seeing you in like comment boards for a while. Yeah, think about it, Glenn. You never know. I mean, you just never know. Like, I mean, earlier, if anybody was watching Ashley's stream, she's like, I don't know who said something about stay golden. That was me the other night, and you just never know. Long reach one. I'm a tiny channel, but yeah, like but when you've been watching people and you've seen them, like I mean, I've seen you in a lot of the same like watching the same stuff I'm watching. I don't know. Kind of makes me feel special that you're in here. Creek Mary says, sounds like I miss the drama. Yeah, it's always best to miss the drama, isn't it? But that's the thing, guys. I mean, you got to remember whenever something's going right, something dark always creeps in because it's a dualistic world. And so, like, especially when I have like chaos and strife in my life, then I rejoice because I know that I'm doing something right. Let's see. Oh, everybody's loving each other in the chat. I like this. Because I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if the majority of us believe that, because we can see these effects, we're special. I know I think I am. I mean, God communicates like he has communicated in the past to my husband directly. So, and I know that, that there's something, holy and good that speaks to my youngest child. She's been talking about it since she was a little girl. And I mean, I just feel like, people who can see this, I mean, I believe we may be the elect in the Bible. I just really do. But I don't, anything's on the table for me. I mean, people are asking a lot, like, is this evil? Is it good? I mean, I don't know. I think that the root of most things are good. I think that most people are good, and it's okay to, it's okay to stand up for what you believe in. I mean, just don't sit there and like act like you're the authority on anything. I mean, that aggravates me so much because nobody really knows. I mean, it's like I was telling somebody the other day, like when you take philosophy courses in college, in Philosophy 101, the very first day, the argument is always prove you exist. And then halfway through the class, they switch it to now prove you don't exist. You can't do it either way. So there's that. I love you too, Patrick. You're my boo bear. Patrick's my special fella. He's so cute. Lynn says, thought of you today when I found the matching sock and was like, thank God. Me too, man. If I get a good parking place at the grocery store, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. That was awesome. Let's see. Dark Wolf said, I started my channel a year ago and only wish we had a group of channels like this back then. Yeah, that's the thing, y'all. I mean, this was a good idea. Well, Scott Balo, I didn't know you liked boners so much. Good Lord. First you're shooting up in them. I saw that earlier. Cheeky little monkey. Let's see. Creek Mary says, I'm such a Leo. I have a daughter that's a Leo. I'm always worried about ego and cautious about thinking I'm too special. You know what? I mean, that's the thing, guys. We are special. That's the thing you got to remember and keep your finger on that. You're not crazy. You're not misremembering. And if you think we can manifest things, I mean, I know I can. Be careful with it. Decide what decide, are you going to manifest for the betterment of everybody? Or are you going to like try to get like presents and money? Like, stay on the side of light. That's what I say. You know, kind of, if you believe in a creator, put that creator in on your decisions on what you're going to pray for. I try to, or manifest, whichever one. I mean, I choose to use prayer for it. I ask God. Maybe my way of manifesting. I mean, but I know he's real. That's the thing. I mean, for me, he is. And that's one thing people don't get. Like, if you are curious about, and I'm not talking about religion. I mean, you can just forget going to churches. Those places are corrupt. Any place that takes in money is corrupt. Just remember that, because money is corrupt. It's evil. So, I mean, when I talk about God, I mean, I follow more of the esoteric teachings of Jesus Christ. I mean, I like to read Psalms. I like, thinking about the joyful things of our creator, and I think we do have a creator. I mean, this just isn't an accident. But whatever you define that to be, I mean, try to lean on that for your understanding too, you know? I mean, no matter what your beliefs are, because that's the thing, we have free will. We can believe whatever we want to believe. And anything's possible. And it could change. I mean, if you can't depend on your memories and what you know to be true, I mean, you know, it just could be anything. Lynn says money's not evil, the love of money is evil. We can have money and it's okay. Yeah, I don't know. It just worries me when I think about I think about that experiment that they did with the chimpanzees and money, when they gave chimpanzees money and taught them to trade it for food, just how they reacted. I mean, and these are creatures that are, they're aware of themselves. I think most animals are. But I mean, I don't know. If chimpanzees can go crazy over money, then so can people. I don't know. I just think that whenever money's involved, it just becomes like an evil system. Maybe we need to change who's in control of it. I don't know. I just don't know the answers to things like that. But in my experience, not good. You know, I mean, I grew up with it. I know what it takes to get there. Chimps and money. Yeah, Goddess, you haven't heard about this? There's like a group of there's a group of scientists. You know, they had this group of chimpanzees living together. I've told the story before. I'm sorry if y'all have heard it, but so there's a group of chimpanzees living together, and they teach them to trade money for food. They teach them the concept of it. And so now in order to eat, they have to exchange money. And so they catch on very quickly. And then before long, all of the male chimps are fighting and all the females are prostituting themselves. And then when the researchers are like, crap, this has gone too far and try to take the money away, they go crazy and attack the researchers. They didn't want to give it up once, you know, and it's all revolves around the idea of you know, possession and ownership. So, like, this is mine. I mean, I'm guilty of it myself. I had this neighbor, and they kept parking just a little bit on the lawn, just a little bit on the lawn, a little bit on the lawn. Like in the back, we have our driveways in the back of our houses. And I kept coming into my husband like, you see that? You see, they're this much on our lawn. They're this much. I mean, every day in, day out. Finally, he leaves out of the bag. He comes back and he's like, look, he was like, I popped their tire. Do you feel better? And I was just like, I mean, at the moment I felt better, but then like the next day he got a nail in his tire, just like driving through an area that was doing construction. So what good did it do? What good did my the ownership of, that feeling of ownership I had, like you're on my property. And I feel like it's no good. So I feel like also like that's kind of what this beef is between like affected people is. I think people are starting to believe that they're the ultimate authority on this experience, and that's just not possible. I'm sorry to break it down to people, but everybody's going to have their own ideas and opinions because we're all different. We're like fingerprints. Hey, puppy. Sorry, my dog wants attention. Hey, girl. Okay, let's see. Dark Wolf is like, okay, so check it out. We've already screwed up humanity with this, so let's test it on chimps. The other guy's like, sure, why not? No, but yeah, I mean, Linz is like, they should be getting their food from natural sources to begin with, so they've already been corrupted by them putting them in research. So have we, right? I mean, you could say that about humans. Humans are naturally like nomadic. We're naturally like, foragers, explorers, travelers, you know? And, we've really been, our tribal society's been taken away, you know? People are cramped. See, I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, so I know what it's like to live like practically right on top of people. It's no fun. I mean, you get into these congested city situations and it's not a good place to be in. You don't have any land to spread out, and then, people are kind of afraid of each other because then there tends to be these situations where there's lack and people not having enough food to eat or whatever, and people get desperate and start turning on each other. Yeah, I think Lynn's saying, Patrick's saying, I wish we didn't need to use money at all. Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I figure, it's really like my retirement plan. I figure I can breed dogs, like grow sweet potatoes. I can sit there and be an old lady and sit on the side of the road and sell sweet potatoes. I can have a garden and like take care of myself pretty well. I can have bees and have honey, you know? I mean, what do I really need? I don't really need that much. The food is bad here in the US. I agree. And Liz is like, I think it comes down to respect. We can respect each other enough to realize that each person has their own history and reasons why they feel so strongly about certain things. I agree with that wholeheartedly. You know, if people just, but I think you have to like give respect to get it. I mean, I try to instantly just respect people and their beliefs and wishes. I think that's important, you know, and it's, you know, it's not a competition. I mean, we should be helping people that are waking up and we should, you know, be connecting with each other, not having all these grudges and beefs going on. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, most of us are grown. Let's see. Yeah. Long reach one says going without money for a while is strengthening. It can be. Yeah, I mean, like when I moved out, I mean, the day I turned 18, I was like, I had been working at a grocery store for a while and I was like, I saved my money and I bought a car and I'm leaving right now. So I packed my shit and left and I was still in high school. So the second half of my senior year, I was on my own. I mean, quite frankly, I was living in my car. I mean, I had no idea about anything. I didn't know how to do anything. So I had no concept of money and what it really took to live. But luckily, I didn't even, I mean, I had no religion in my life. I had no spirituality really. I was a Buddhist at that time. I was practicing like Buddhism. But I just met this guy. It was like a synchronicity. I just met this guy and he owned a restaurant and he had a wife and like a little girl. And I mean, I came across him and he offered me a job and he realized after like a couple of days that I was like living in my car and he sat there and let me come and shower at his house. I mean, it wasn't anything creepy. Like, you know, he was working at, you know, during the day, his wife was home, you know, and they helped me out. You know, he even put like a down payment on an apartment for me, you know, and would like front me money and I would just work it off. So, I mean, sometimes, you know, people are put in your path to help you out, and that's okay. Let's see. Can't find that damn chimp money video. Well, it's not a video. It's like a research study. So you can find it. I read about it in Scientific American a long time ago, and then the guy who does the talks on black goo, his name is like Harold Vella. He speaks about it. And I had forgotten about that. But yeah, you can find it in Scientific American, and then you can find it, you know, if you know how to look up like scientific experiments at your local library, you can find it. One says she's been broke through broke periods and decided I didn't want to feel broken, so I didn't call myself broke. I'm telling you, you know, you can manifest some stuff. Hey, Ashley. Ashley's so awesome. Poppy, you got married when you were 17. Oh my God. That's young. I mean, I was like, what? I was 22 when I got married. So sorry, it's my dog. If the kids make a noise, they think somebody's breaking in. Long reach one, it's been a lot or nothing up and down all my life. Yeah, me too. I mean, it's just, it seems like ever since I left the nest, I mean, I've kind of struggled financially. And it seems like, you know, I found myself like my life pattern is if I get up to a certain level, I get knocked down. So now I don't ever put myself in like positions of authority. Like I used to be a retail manager. I used to make good money, but, or like when I was doing catering sales, I was like a manager over a team of production, like being over the catering department. I've stopped doing that. I don't pursue those things because I feel like it must be a sign not to do that. So I try to never be in charge of other people. Wascally Rabbit says, I've always gotten what I needed, but very rarely have I ever gotten what I wanted. Thank God. Some of the best lessons are the hardest ones too. It's true. You know, just like that time I spent in prison. I mean, I got a hard sentence for something I didn't really do. I just covered up. So, but I wouldn't take back. Oh, Patrick, you gave me a thumbs up. You're so awesome. Oh, Ashley, I would hug you if I was with you. Yeah, Creek Mary says Harald Kautzvella. Yeah, the basis conferences. My husband is like super obsessed with the basis project because, when we were first like together, he used to tell me like that he would get abducted by aliens and he would wake up and find like scoop marks. I mean, and I've seen them and I'm thinking to myself, is he like making this happen with his mind? Is this really happening to him? Because I've never had any experience with anything like that. But he used to tell me, they can't get me when you're around. So, I mean, I started letting him stay with me, after a while, once he opened up and was telling me things like that. And then one day he said that he got abducted when I was at work and he woke up halfway through and looked over and saw like a plug in the wall and realized it wasn't a spaceship. And so he thinks he's like a super soldier. He has these vivid dreams where he wakes up and there's a phone ringing in his pocket and he's just like in a strange place and he gets directions on where to go. And then he's asked what does he see? So yeah, we're all a special kind of crazy, I guess. See, Long Reach one says my ex something similar, yeah. Lynn's is like, I think you have a big shield. Maybe. I mean, y'all have seen my rainbow videos. I mean, that shit's weird. Creek Mary says, I think my husband might have been an abductee. He has had a lot of scoop marks and scars. Yeah. The theory is like with these super soldiers is that, the government knows that they can, like mentally travel to other dimensions. So they'll sit there and utilize that and use them as like warriors and, fighting battles in other dimensions. I don't know, man. That's never happened to me. It's just like it's such a strange, crazy life, you know? Yeah, because once you realize that things aren't what you thought they were, I mean, it's just like it is like falling down the rabbit hole. Oh, and just to let you guys know, I put in a request today with my doctor. I had to go down there and sign some paperwork. I'm about to get copies of my body scan. My experiment's going to be I'm going to sit there and look at it and study it and like film myself tracing it. And then I'm going to study the body changes and see if my body changes. I don't know. Because as far as I can see, I mean, I just don't see anything. But that's just me. It might just be my perception of it. Like, because, the body changes are one of those things, like, whenever they're brought up, I feel kind of like I don't know, I feel like a disconnect. Like, I can't hear that or something. I don't want to hear that. Dark Wolf says, I'm overhearing a conversation right now for one conspiracy theorist and three NPCs. Yeah. Wascally Wabbit, no comment. What did somebody ask you? Maybe so, Lens. I don't know. She's saying the more you learn, the more So the more you learn, the more I learn, the more I have to open my mind. I have so many body changes I've felt before they've happened. Maybe you're choosing not to. Well, it's just that, like my doctors monitor my body so closely because I have like a tumor in my pituitary gland. I have lupus. I have Sjogren's, which is kind of like an autoimmune disorder that makes like your mouth dry, your eyes dry. I have psoriasis. I have all kinds of issues like that. And I have an aunt that has lupus, and like they went to go do an operation on her, and some of her bones crumbled. So, I mean, they sit there and they monitor your bone density and just all of that junk. They're particularly worried about me because I won't take medications. I just refuse medications. But I want to know, am I getting worse? Like, do I need to try something else? So, I mean, and I do have a lot of pain and stuff, but maybe it is a body change. I don't know. But like when I look at it, I don't see it. It's just like my friend I was talking about the other day who saw 4 people in the car until I was like, dude, look it up right now while we're on the phone. I'm telling you, there's 6. And when I did that, he saw 6. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm so sorry, but you will never see 4 again now. And it might be something like that. And he's an aware person. I mean, he's really an enlightened person. I mean, he knows that like a lot of the stuff in this world's bullshit. So it's not like he's an asleep person. So I'm just wondering if that's a thing. It's going to be interesting to find out. Dark Wolf says, I'm on a balcony and they're below me. He was talking about the moon landing in Antarctica. Yeah. And the girls were like, well, I don't care. That's stupid. That's so funny. Long Reach One says, funny how so many of us have these family connections with the supernatural. And it's true. It's like, it's like this realm has been trying to tell us all of our lives that something's fucking wrong with this place. Creek Mary says, I've watched a lot of videos on MK Ultra, mind control, that sort of thing. Yeah. And, I mean, I've had a lot of like personal experiences with, not MK Ultra, but just, like firsthand experiences with, with people trying to alter you. Let's see. Lindsay, oh my word, bones crumbling. Yeah. Fuck that. You know why her bones crumbled? Because she took that Boniva or something. It was some medication that Sally Fields promoted. And there have been Mandela effects with her. Like, you like me, you really, really like me. It's that lady. And she was in Forrest Gump. That movie has Mandela effects. Like sometimes I think that these effects are like trying to tell you something. It's to me, I'll make statements like my environment is reacting to me, and it's like that. It's your environment's reacting. I mean, but in a big way because it's observable because we're all connected on this technology, on these cell phones and computers. So, I mean, and also like she has a brother that works at CERN. I mean, there's something wrong with that place. Either it's like a bullshit funnel for money, or, I mean, I think they use that thing to speak to other dimensions. And I mean, they might be trying to have a Stargate there. I mean, who knows what the fuck's going on there? It's nothing good, though. Let's see. Wascally Rabbit says, Martha Jane, definitely. This place is not what it pretends to be. That's true. Boniva. She said, yes, that's what I had in my head. I knew there was something off. See, the problem with that Boniva medication is it sits there and it keeps your bones from like debreeding themselves. Like your skin sloughs off every day and you wash it off. Well, it stops that process on your bones. But I mean, it makes your it can really make your bones even more brittle in the long run. They had this lawsuit with this lady that stepped off of a curb and like just broke her leg because she was on that stuff. Abby, no. Let's see. I'm sorry, I had to fuss at my dog. Goddess Four Winds says, so many people have disorders related to pain like fibromyalgia. You know, fibromyalgia is basically the doctor saying, I don't know what's wrong with you. I got diagnosed with that before I got diagnosed with lupus. They're like, it's not fibromyalgia, it's lupus. I'm like, thanks a lot, guys. It might be. You know what I think? I think sometimes I think that the chemicals they give us, Abby, stop. I think sometimes the chemicals they give us make us more programmable so that we can create the reality that they want. Maybe just a, it's like a thought. But I think that we're allergic to, because like a lot of us are allergic to the food. I think a lot of us are like resistant to programming. So. Lynn says, I've been waiting for years to talk about all this type of stuff with normal people. Yeah, it's nice, Long Reach one says, my dog is Abby too. Oh, yeah, she's our youngest American Bulldog, and her name is Lady Abigail. And then my older one, her name's Princess Penny. And we're about to buy a male, and his name's going to be Lord Butterscotch. I mean, we're starting like a breeding program, and it's going to be, we've already named it like Royal Magnolia Bullies. Ooh, Lynn's V says, I took Depo-Provera at age 18. 3 months later. Oh my God. I took Depo-Provera for like 9 months, and I know this is gross, guys, but I had a constant cycle for 9 months. And they kept saying, just take the shot one more time. Horrible. Lynn says, my kid is Abby. Oh, I like that name. Long Reach one says, they gave me a bad dose and then doubled up with another dose. So I was like crying. Oh. Scott Baylor says, Lynn's, I was telling my girl about Boops and she loved it. I know. I was talking about it today too. I was telling my husband. And we were laughing and like reminiscing about all the cute things our kids used to say. Goddess of the Four Winds says, I wonder if fibro flares or shifts, the flu-like pain, the fever, high blood pressure. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that Depo-Provera was no good. Scott Baylor says he almost married an Abby. Uh-oh. What does this mean? Might mean something. It might not. Yeah, my oldest daughter, she has like horrible pains like during her time. And so I took her to the doctor, and I was going to get her birth control, and I took her to a Catholic doctor, just because they're more discreet. And we do live in the South in Mississippi, y'all. So at any rate, so I took her to this Catholic doctor, and when she found out he was going to do an examination, like she started crying. And he was like, look, he's like, I can tell from your reaction that you haven't done anything with a man. He said, so we're just going to like skip over that part. And he gave her like a low dose of birth control. And then she decided she didn't want to take it because she looked into it. And she says that, she's worried it won't be good for her. So I don't know. I'm glad she didn't do it. Yeah, Scott, good thing you didn't, because you wouldn't have your girl now. Wonder World. Hey, welcome, Wonder World. Change your diet to a plant-based diet. Yep. our food is making everyone sick, and I totally agree. Like, my husband and I put a down payment on, a little over 60 acres of land, and we grow a lot of our own, like, herbs and, like basil and things like that, and, some fruits and vegetables. I'd like to survive on everything that I grow. Because when I grow food, like potatoes or anything, I sit there and I meditate over that food. I put a lot of energy into that food. I try to make sure it has good alkaline water. I'm trying to like heal myself and live like I should live. And I agree with that. I mean, and with the plant-based diet, I mean, I have a mainly a plant-based diet. I tried to transition to full veganism recently, and it I felt bad. I mean, I think I just went too quickly. I had to reintroduce like eggs back in. I mean, I was having some issues. So I don't know. I ordered these books on somebody recommended to me about like live food. They were telling me that I felt bad because I needed like more live enzyme protein and like sprouted foods. So I'm going to try that. We'll see. I had some problems with high blood pressure recently. I mean, but I mean, I was going to like that float tank facility and meditating a lot, and that helped. So I don't know. It's just like it's really strange because all of this stuff seems tied together. It's like nearly every it's like to the general public just makes you sound like a fucking nut. But it seems like nearly every conspiracy so-called theory um is like connected in some kind of strange swirling way. Like every once in a while I sit back and I think to myself, am I being programmed? Like is this feeling that things are changing? Is that some type of programming? It makes me worried. But I mean, I know in my heart what's true. And I just think all of these synchronicities like are proof to me that it's not a programming, even though I mean I have those thoughts. Just like every few days I think to myself, God, are we in hell? Like, am I dead? Is this purgatory? Was I ever alive? I mean, there's just so many questions in this, you know? Just can't rely on anything. I mean, that's why, my ultimate plan is just to disconnect from all this and just live in the woods, be self sufficient, commune with God. It's just happening this summer. I'm excited. And then Goddess says they're mostly just theories, not all involve conspiracies. That's true. I know, but they're just like widely known as conspiracy theories. But, you know, I guess you shouldn't call them theories, they're just conspiracies because I mean it is people conspiring to keep secrets, or to have the power and control or, you know. I mean, a lot of times when people say conspiracy theory, they put like this bad spin on it. I mean, to me it's not a bad thing. I mean, unless you can directly prove it's a conspiracy and it is just a theory. But I don't look at it, I think the media has spun that up into something bad to kind of discredit people and make them look crazy. But, you know, since I stopped watching TV years ago, it's, I'm just less hip to what's going on. Just like when like shootings or bombings happen, I usually don't find out till a day or so later. It doesn't affect me. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And I'll kind of look at a few pictures, and as soon as like license plates start to equal 33, I'm like, yeah, I'm out. I don't look at it anymore. Creek Mary's like, I usually think that like that during insomnia. Yeah, I'll lay there at bed at night, and just let my brain run and pay attention to it. And it's just, I mean, all these ideas come up. Oh yeah, Dark Wolf's coming on, guys. I'm excited. Says Dark Wolfston says I gotta go for the night, everyone. It's been great. Are you streaming tonight, Dark? Are you skipping? No, well, I may have missed him. Hope he's streaming. Scott Balo says it only has a bad connotation for people who don't understand it. Yeah. Not tonight. I'm going to a friend's house. Oh, that's okay. We still have Glen Mink, hopefully. Somebody. Wascally rabbit and cilantro. Listen, I eat loads of cilantro. Loads. Because I know it's a natural antibiotic. But yeah, like I'm gonna cut this off in like a minute or so, but you know, don't feed the demons. That's the message for tonight. Don't worry about all these haters and people are trying to get you down and distract you just because you're on the right path. That's what it means. Yeah, good night, guys. Y'all are all amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and get off and go soak in a salt bath and see who's on next. He's taking the night off. Hopefully he didn't change his mind. I know he was going to think about it. He's chillaxing. Oh, you know what? I think Andrew Eaton's going to stream if he's still in here. Andrew, are you still in here? I love you too, Wascally Rabbit. I just want to call you Wascally Wabbit, but good night, Poppy. Good night, Goddess. Love you guys. Y'all are such an inspiration to me, and I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. And I'll see you tomorrow.